Hi everyone, welcome back to Life as an Artist. I'm just doing the edit for this week and I've recorded quite a lot of footage this week and I'm just processing it now and trying to figure out what it is that I'm trying to say. And it's a little bit confusing, so I thought I'd start here explaining what's going on. So the application process that I've been doing for the last few weeks is coming to an end. The pieces this week have been finished, the top coat's been put on, and then there was a photo shoot done at the end. So I think we're gonna first jump into me painting. So first off, the pieces are now completely done. All the drips are ready and the level of like painterly quality that I'm after is there. The only thing is the final top coat isn't completed. So yeah, I'm now just putting on this colour for the final layer. Sadly, what I'm painting right now in black was a mistake. That was actually meant to be white, and that cost me later. But I'll talk about that later on. So as you can see, the black pieces are done. I'm just putting on the red. I also like to put a coat on the back of each piece as well because you can't really see it here, but I'll show a close up at some point. But there are gaps in the surface, and when you paint the back, it also, like, the paint drips through and yeah, covers those gaps in the back. Yeah, I'm continuing to paint these two layers, and the two white pieces that I wanted to paint, I'm actually leaving. So the shoot this week doesn't finish. I don't photograph the white pieces. I'm just photographing the black and the red. I need 5 pieces for the exhibition, and last week I photographed one at the Phoenix Food Factory, and that'll be one of the pieces that I submit as well. So yeah, that was the back then that I was just painting, and now I'm painting the front one more time to get all those little gaps filled in. Once the painting is done, I really need to start setting up the studio for the photo shoot. This really involves just cleaning it out, gutting all the like kind of semi-permanent walls that are there, and cleaning it up, putting studio lighting in, repainting the wall to make sure that it's yeah, white rather than all these painty splashes that have been there for a few months. And what you're trying to do with this is create a kind of light box. So first you need the space to be able to stand back and photograph properly, and then this light box that I'm talking about provides uniform light in a box. So essentially I create this reflective surface at the top. The roof is white, and I put a sheet down the bottom, which you'll see in a moment, on the bottom to also create a reflection. So this is the painting of the wall that I was just talking about. There are a lot of paint splashes left from the last season of work, and you can't really see it on the camera, but it's quite thick, and ideally I would have sanded it all back and repainted it again, but I just totally ran out of time. So I've got this textured paint. So first I put a layer of ordinary emulsion on, and then I put a layer of textured paint later on. Ironically, I think it was about 2 in the morning that I was down there the day before the photo shoot just doing the final coat. So this is the thing that I was telling you about a minute ago, the sheet that's on the bottom, and this sheet then allows the light to bounce and reflect all around, and you can see at the top left and right of the screen there are these curtains that I can drop down. For the photo shoot we didn't actually use them, but you can then create a completely reflective area encompassing all that light. So these are the lights that Joris, that I've talked about a few times, lent to me. They're very, very good studio lighting, but they're very yellow. But that will be edited out when we do the edit.
The next morning.
Okay, so it's photography day. Tim and Donald are down and they're just discussing what to do precisely. We've got the lighting set up and the first piece is mounted on the wall. So now we're just going to cycle through the pieces that are ready to be photographed today. There's 4 ones that really need to be photographed today, and there's a bunch of paintings that I've done over the last few months that I also want to get photographed. But yeah, as long as the 4 are photographed today, then it's then that's a job well done. So I'll put this on a time lapse now and we can jump in and do the photo shoot, and then I'll talk through later on what it is we were doing and why we were doing it. Okay, so I put a camera in the corner of the studio to time lapse pretty much the entire photo shoot, and this is the resulting footage that you're seeing now. This is Tim and Donald setting up and discussing which settings we're going to use, how we're going to position the cameras, which cameras we're using, because Tim brought his, Donald brought his, I had some lighting. This is the first setup, and this is how we actually photograph. Tim puts it on a timer, and that way you eliminate all the shakiness from pressing the button. It's a really easy way of doing it if you don't have a trigger for your camera. So the first piece is photographed now, and I'm just discussing how to actually mount and set up the second piece. I've got these kind of mirror plates, which are these brass plates that you hang paintings on normally. I've just put them at a 45-degree angle, and yeah, it basically allows the hook to just attach on the wall. So I'll put the first hook on, put the painting on there, see if it's straight, and then put the second hook or the third hook to attach it to the wall. You can lift it up really easily, but that way, yeah, it's positioned initially how we like it. The lighting is then put on, and we, yeah, keep changing the lights and trying to eliminate that shadow. So the difference is you don't want to completely eliminate it, you want to eliminate it looking kind of abnormal and stupid. So if the shadow is pointing upwards, it looks very unnatural. When it's pointing downwards, it seems a bit more natural. The pieces aren't paintings, they are floating sculptures on the wall or constructions, and that shadow actually indicates and gives way to the idea that it is a piece of artwork in that medium. Without that shadow, it looks very strange as well, and me and Tim have experimented for a few years now photographing the work and trying to get it as accurate a representation as it is in real life as possible. Also, Donald advised us to do a bunch of close-up shots. He does a lot of those with his own work, and yeah, I explained about how, you know, this is a collaboration between artists, and it's about sharing each other's practices and why we do what we do. That close-up shot really allows you to show the surface and exactly what's going on in a completely different way. You don't just have this one encompassing shot straight on like a, you know, a Google search result or a gallery. It shows the dynamism of the actual work, and I'll be uploading those sort of photos to Instagram in the coming weeks. So if you've not seen that, check that out. The constructions are all finished now, and I'm onto the painting series that I've been working on in parallel to my constructions. These paintings are all oil paints. They all depict quadrilaterals and the square in a certain assorted way. These pieces are from about a year to a couple of months old, and it's been a while since I've photographed the paintings, so this will be also for an update of the website. Later. So we've been working all day really, and we're finally on the last piece. It's being a bit problematic with the lighting. Tim's not particularly happy, are you, Tim?
Not with this last one, but all the others are perfect.
Perfect. So the photo shoot ended there, and I was quite tired. I don't know if you can see that from the end of the video. The last 2 weeks have been quite busy trying to get everything done and finished, and that night before I was down really late just trying to get the photography wall finished. So I'm quite happy with some of the results that I've seen so far, and it's about, I don't know if you can see this here. Yeah, so it's Wednesday at 9 o'clock, and I tend to upload on a Wednesday, and yeah, we're running out of time essentially, and I'm just trying to explain that, yeah, the process has been quite hard, but I'm finally getting there, and the application is very nearly completed. So I'm just waiting on Tim to send me the photos. It's due in a couple of hours, but I don't think it's going to make the edit of the vlog. And yeah, in that case, I'll actually post the videos, the photos next week in next week's video to show you the results of the photo shoot. So thank you for all watching, and I hope to see you all again next week. Take care and goodbye.